What we did in episode 2 in particular was take a concept of how to get Travis out of prison.
Yeah.
And the original script had car chases, gunfire, car rolls down a hill.
Yeah, big gunfight.
Big gunfight. And that evolved. I mean, as we started talking about it, and I always had this idea of how I wanted to involve a train in a sequence to help cut off an escape.
Yep.
Then we were working with these helicopter guys, and we came up with the idea of, what if we included a helicopter? Thought that would be cool. And the script just evolved and changed. And when you see that happen as a writer, how do you feel about that?
Well, you take it all as it comes. I mean, I remember when you were doing the location scout and you came back and said, oh, we found a tunnel. Let's put the sequence in a tunnel. I thought, that's great. That sounds like it could work. And it gave you the same things that I was trying to do in the script. Because what you may or may not realize is when these things go into the script, sometimes they're not perfect. In my view, they are a means to an end to get the story from this point to this point, and whatever's in the middle there, I'm just kind of coming up with so I can get the story to move forward. So I'm not necessarily married to how it happens, just that it happens in such a way.
Episode 202 of Continuum, it was a huge undertaking. It was a lot written in there, a lot of action. We work out the fight, choreograph it, rehearse the hell out of it, and then make video of it and send it off to the actors so they get a kind of a view of it, and the director, and they can say, yes, I like this, no, I don't like this, change this around. It's a lengthy ordeal in a sense, especially with something of this magnitude of 202. It was massive.
Yeah, so you and I got this fight in the second episode of the second season, which was
epic.
And I got deathly ill. I couldn't make it in to do the original fight. So Roger had to do that with a stunt double, which I don't think we ever ended up using any footage. Roger and I just went at each other.
We did.
Throwing each other around.
That was fun.
Smashing each other into walls.
I think we got worried at some point there.
If we forgot the choreography, we just kind of improv our way through it and just threw each other around. But because he's a super soldier, he obviously won. Kicked my butt.
You know, when we have a fight scene, Kamani pretty much knows what my strengths are right now. He knows what I'm good at, what I can do. And whenever I read an action sequence in the script, I glaze right by it. Because I know whatever it says in the script's not going to be what happens when we get to set that day. It's like, oh, Carlos punches this guy once, and I get to set, and there's like this very cool, fast, intricate fight scene. And for me, I look at it as all one scene. I don't look at it as an action scene that separates and then an acting beat and everything. It's just all part of the same scene for me.
You ready? Now!
With episode 202, we basically foamed the entire inside of the prison van with some closed cell foam so that he could let the guys go crazy and just work as hard as they can and not get hurt. We took away all the sharp edges. We secured everything down as best we could just so that they could jump around and make the fight as realistic as possible.
You know, the first time I ever read a script, I sort of just take it in stride and try to figure out what's involved, but then as it sort of morphed and progressed into production, seeing the idea of having a train and a near miss. We had recently done some train work. We thought we could take it a step further, and so it was a good opportunity because we had already sort of put some legwork into the idea of CG trains and how we can integrate them into scenes and things like that. So, and we sort of do a first pass of animation and on top of that, and add a computer-generated train, and you can still tell it's computer-generated. But it's like, okay, well, that actually could be a train in the shot, and then you sort of just keep refining and iterating lighting and rendering and tests and atmosphere and all this kind of stuff until actually, at some point, I was actually walking around looking at shots yesterday, and I walked by a monitor and I asked one of the artists, where'd you get the reference of that train for the shot? It looks great. And she's like, no, that's our computer-generated train. And whenever I get fooled, I get very excited. So.
episode 202 when we did the whole driving sequence up in Squamish there?
Oh, that was actually really difficult because I had to sit in a van all day long for like 3 days.
So it was like pretty tough work.
It was really tough work.
Yeah.
I mean, with the fan blowing my hair and... Okay, we just bought ourselves a little time.
And cut.
Oh my God, I'm so tired. Oh my God, that was so exhausting. It was so much more difficult than learning the 50-move fight sequence that I learned this morning.
Of course, yeah.
Way more difficult.
Yeah.
You know, but by the way, I never kind of told you this. I did kind of have a problem with this.
All right.
When Kamani changed the choreography, but didn't really let me know about it. And so we had Roger, Travis come up and do all this kind of shit. And by the way,
I changed it, though. I thought you
came in.
You had the video like a week beforehand, and I changed it.
Yeah, but you came in. You told Roger to do, change this little section in the middle. You know, when I'm supposed to duck underneath the right hand, and he hits me with the thing, and then he changes, and then he cracks me in the face, and then I went down. That I was kind of pissed about. I just got to say.
Yeah, well, like I said, you've had it a week in
advance.
No, dude,
you
and I
changed it.
How can I change it?
Dude,
how can I change it?
Dude, I'm telling you.
Hey guys, so we're rolling now.
Okay, it's my fault.